Hi and welcome to my little corner of YouTube, where today I'll be discussing buying my first Model Y Tesla. The buying experience is completely different to a normal traditional way of buying cars because Tesla don't really have dealerships. There is no real sales force, so they point you to the website. So when you go to the website, what happens? Well, you select your model. And if you're buying the Model Y, you're currently presented with two options, the long range and the performance. Understand that a standard range is coming out at some point. I unfortunately couldn't justify the additional cost for the performance, even though I'd like one. We don't really get the opportunity to drive 155 mile an hour in the UK. However, if you're buying the performance because you want the feeling of the acceleration, then one of the things I didn't realise is that as an aftermarket upgrade for your Model Y long range, you can buy the acceleration boost, which will give you 100 kilometres an hour in 4.4 seconds as opposed to 5 seconds. Currently, this comes in at £1,500. And then we move on to paintwork, and this is down to personal preference, of course, but if you choose anything other than white, then you pay more. And one of the things that will change will be your delivery schedules. Now, I shouldn't pay too much attention to this because I think with current markets, whichever one you pick, they're going to slide anyway, so make sure you pick the colour that you actually want and don't base it just on the delivery times. And then we move on to wheels. Now, if you're buying the long range, you get the choice of 19-inch or 20-inch alloys. One of the things you may not instantly realise is that the 19-inch will actually give you an additional 20 miles of range. I don't know if this is important to you. However, at the time when I was designing mine, I really didn't like the styling of the 19-inch wheels, so I went with the 20-inch wheels. However, after watching multiple reviews since buying my Tesla and ordering it, I found out that the 20-inch wheels will give you a more bumpier ride, and in hindsight, maybe I would have preferred the 19-inch wheels because after 2 weeks of driving around, I must admit I do find the ride quite bumpy. And then we have the towing hitch. You will know better than me whether or not you need one. And the final part that will affect the build of your Tesla is the interior, which comes black as standard or white effect trim. Now, one of the things with the white is the seats won't remain quite so hot during the summer, so they will remain cool as well as looking cool. However, my concern was over 4 or 5 years of use of children, how grubby they might get. So I wasn't quite brave enough, so I remained with the black trim as all my vehicles have been black interiors. However, one of the things I don't like about the black trim is, for some strange reason, Tesla have decided to put in this wood effect on the doors and the dash, something that you don't get with the white. And so in some ways I was very close to picking the white, but no, I went with the black. And incidentally, I have them fitted aftermarket trim covers, something that you can see in one of my other videos, and to be honest, I think the carbon fibre looks much better. So I've actually gone for this. And the final part before moving on to payment is whether or not you want to add enhanced autopilot or full self-driving capability. Obviously, full driving capability isn't currently legal in the UK, so even if you did purchase this option, you wouldn't legally be able to use it. Apparently it is coming by the end of the year, but they've been saying that for at least 2 years that I know of, so watch this space, I guess. The only reason you may want to add it now is if you want to add it into your finance and spread the cost over the number of years of your finance term. You might want to give the enhanced autopilot a little bit of a think. I must admit, I'm considering buying it on mine, just because of the ability to auto lane change when you're on the motorway. Currently you have to physically do it yourself, and that switches off the autopilot. So up to you whether or not you add that now or later on, because they're all optional extras on your upgrade items on your phone, and you can just pay exactly the same amount of money that they're currently shown here. Okay, and the very final part is actually paying for it. So due today, as they say, is the £200. When I ordered mine, it was only £100, which is amazing, really, when you consider that you're buying a £60,000 car with just a deposit of a couple of £100. You will then get an estimated delivery date, like this one is showing November and January. When I ordered mine, I had like 2 months away. I ordered it at the right time, obviously. However, after the first month, I noticed it slid an extra month. And I thought, okay, I've not received any emails or anything like this. So I started to worry whether or not I had actually completed everything. Couldn't see that I had anything wrong, so waited, expecting to receive a actual delivery date, and then I found out that it slipped again by a month whenever I logged in. So at this point I thought, no, I must have done something wrong, so I actually contacted Tesla for them to say, no, everything's correct, and it's just the industry at the moment, and now I should just wait, and I'll be sent an actual delivery date at some point. Closer to the time of the delivery date, it started giving me an estimated delivery of just say 2 weeks, and then finally it gave me a delivery schedule of the last day of those 2 weeks effectively, at which point I had to make sure that I'd completed all my financial agreements, transferred the money over, and then I was able to schedule a collection. So the actual delivery was initially booked for Birmingham. I think you enter your postcode and it works out where the nearest hubs are for your collection, and I think I was presented with Birmingham, Portsmouth and London, but because I'd recently been to the NEC, I actually selected the Birmingham one because I knew exactly where it was and how easy I could get to it from the train. So when it came up as Staines being my collection point, I was a bit shocked. However, I looked online and found that actually Staines was a lot cheaper to get to by the train, and probably more convenient and closer. So I didn't phone them up to find out why they've changed my delivery point. A couple of nights before the collection, I got a email to say this is a self-service checkout, which I did wonder what that meant. Would I turn up, slot my driving license into a machine, and a couple of keys pop out at the bottom, a bit like at the train station? No, not quite that bad. It's a parking lot with lots of Teslas and a hut, temporary hut, with about 5 pillars with laptops on, with guys stood behind them. As you walk in, there's a little bit of a queue, because obviously there's a busy time for them. You get called forward. They ask you, are you picking up a Tesla today? Yes. Driving license, and then they ask you for the RN number. Have you downloaded the app? They quickly check that matches the VIN number, and then they basically turn around, grab a little cardboard box out of a set of drawers and say, congratulations on purchasing your Tesla. Here are the keys. Have a good day. Any other questions? And it's like, wow, is that it? So really no celebration, no Bucks Fizz or champagne. No, that's pretty much it. The only question I really had was, where was it? They said they'll get somebody to show me where it was on the parking lot, save me walking around for about 20 minutes. The guy showed me my vehicle, showed me how to open it, and left me to it. Did take me a little while to work out how to drive it. So I then drove it round the corner where I could then check it all over for any issues. Was quite surprised to find out that I had a parcel shelf, and some nice charging cables, and first aid kit. They were all pleasantly received. That's pretty much it. Any comments or questions, feel free to drop those below, and I'll do my best to answer. Good luck in ordering your Tesla.